Hey, Satanico here once again for Godlovescomics, and this is Swamp Thing Part 4. And we are up to the Swamp Thing Annual number 2, which was in 1985 by the same creative team. At this point, Abby is still alive in a sense, but she has lost her soul thanks to Arcane, and her husband, Matt Cable, sacrificed himself basically to destroy Arcane, but wasn't able to rescue Abby's soul. So Swamp Thing is once again carrying around a lifeless body, as he was for so long carrying around, metaphorically and literally, the skeleton of Alec Holland, and now he is carrying around Abby, which is essentially his true love. And as you can see on this cover, you've got the Phantom Stranger, you've got Deadman, you've got Etrigan, the demon, who's already appeared once, and so it should be very interesting. So this is Swamp Thing Annual number 2. There are people, there are stories. The people think they shape the stories, but the reverse is often closer to the truth. Stories shape the world. They exist independently of people, and in places quite devoid of man, there may yet be mythologies. The glaciers have their legends. The ocean bed entertains its own romances. Even here within these chill and perished thickets that know no witness save the sleeping toads, each curled like a gorgeous alien fetus beneath its stone, there are stories even here, stories that grow as blighted trees into a tormented puzzle, frictions that become overripe and fester on the vine. The stories here have blossomed into deformities, nurtured by a curious soil. There are heroes, there are wicked uncles and princesses, but the drama is askew. The fairy tale contorts into a tragedy. The hero, slow and massive, comes too late. The wicked uncle's passing achieves nothing. And the princess finds no cliche in the fate that's worse than death. So, of course, the wicked uncle was Arcane, and the princess is Abby. And who is, I guess, Sleeping Beauty, in a sense. Oops. Down amongst the dead men. Abby, this body breathes. Its blood moves, it does not decay. But where are you? He said that he had ripped out your soul, that he had hurled it raw and bloody down to hell. Arcane said that. Arcane said that before he died. Abby, I would follow you. I would follow you even there. But you have been cast into regions where the wearing of flesh is proscribed, and I am shackled to this body. No, I'm not. Once before I stepped outside the confines of the shell. Once when I wished to escape the knowledge of what I was. I can go beyond my body. Can I go beyond death? I remember that the first step was easy. Not so much an effort as a great relaxation. I lay down. I close my eyes. I let go of the world and sank beneath infinite emerald fathoms. Once more, I hear the earth pulse its timeless geologic rhythm. Again, I know the call of the plant world, of the root webs and the tree spires. The urge to let my consciousness dissipate, to drown in peace and silence. It would be so easy. No, I must not lose myself here. My goal is elsewhere, beyond the green, beyond the world of the quick and the warm, beyond life itself. Can this be the afterlife? Can this be heaven? But why is it so empty? Was there no one who was good enough? No, it cannot be. Yet why is it so deserted, so silent? Oh my God, hello? Is that somebody? Please, I need help. I got lost in the fog and my little boy, he's around here someplace. Where are we? Do you work around here? Listen, you must think I'm crazy, but I keep trying to remember how I got here, and I just can't. I was driving Jerry to school and she probably got in an accident, of course. I remember Jerry was making a noise in the back, singing the song from Kitty TV. I turned around to shut him up. I was just pulling into an intersection and hey, where am I? Where's Jerry? Oh God, this is a nightmare. Please, I want to wake up. I want to wake up now. Mom? Hey, Mom, it's okay. Jerry, where? I'm sorry, Mom, I couldn't follow, not right away. But I'm here now. We can go where we're supposed to go. Thanks for looking after him, mister. Okay, that suggests they were in a car accident and Jerry passed away a little bit after she passed away. So he's just joining her and now they can go. So I guess this is effectively purgatory, which is the middle level between hell and heaven, perhaps. Sort of a waiting area, but I'm not sure. Jerry, do you know this place? Oh, sure. It's not been so long since I was here last time. Come on. There's lights up ahead. Wait, come back. Where is this place? Buddy, if anyone here had breath, I'd advise you to save it. They won't be coming back. Ah, it's Deadman. Incidentally, nice to see you again, big feller. Pity I couldn't be under better, more pleasant circumstances. When did you die? I am not dead. I'm here on my own will. Who are you? I do not remember you. You wouldn't. In your world, I'm invisible. I've run into you once or twice, though. Name's Deadman. And if you're still alive, what are you doing in the region of the just dead? Just dead. Sure, like that woman and her son. I saw her leave her body and wander away from the car wreck into this intersection. Kid lived for a couple of minutes. I hung on to wait for him. You haven't answered my question. I'm looking for a friend, a woman. She was cast out from her body unjustly. She does not deserve to be here. Who does? Listen, I only recently discovered this zone myself, but I'll show you around the best I can. If she's here, we'll find her. That okay? Thank you. This place, it shifts. It changes. Ectoplasm. This region is closest to the land of the living matter, and ectoplasm is a sort of submatter that mimics the forms of the real world. If we're lucky, we may even see, yeah, I thought so over there, poltergeists. Keep quiet, they're grazing. They're completely mindless. They just form from the ectofog at the points where particularly violent emotions seep through from the living world. If you fly through them, they burst and smell terrible. Hey, there are a few people here. Right. We get a couple who hang around, too shocked to realize what's happened, but most folk move on wherever they're going pretty quickly. When did your friend pass through? Yesterday. If she hadn't gone on, I'd have run across her by now. Maybe we should head on over to the lights. She may have gone that way. And frankly, if she's gone any other way, you better forget about her. The lights. What? Lights. Those lights. Those lights. Listen, I'm not supposed to go beyond this point. From here on, you'll have to go it alone. I can wait here until you get back. Alone. Go alone into the presence of God. God. There's no need to worry. She always treated me okay. She? Well, yeah. Look, I don't know what you're expecting, but as I understand it, there's a woman running the show. Her name is Ramakrishna. Typical Alan Moore. As for finding your way around, do you know anybody here? Maybe you could find some friends. You'll find friends, Boston Brand. Friends and other strangers. And that is the Phantom Stranger. So, lots of cool beings in the netherworld. Oh, it's you. You know, being dead, it's like waiting for a bus. You don't see anyone for months, and 2 or 3 arrive together. Coincidence is the secret thread that knots the world together, Boston Brand. Have you been dead those long years without learning that? The stranger comes where the stranger is required. Yeah, required by who? Okay, I love a mystery. Play it your way. Deadman, I will be in good hands with the stranger. We have met before. Thank you for your help. Perhaps one day I may help you. I should live so long. Ratsa Rakid. I'll see you around. Stranger, I seek a woman. Yes, Abigail Cable. Although her eventual fate is unknown to me, I heard a little of the conflict in which she was displaced. Her uncle, the defeated Anton Arcane, plunged through this region on his way to hell, a black and shrieking comet spitting molten tar. The noise and the stench were unbearable. I knew then that the last of the matter had not been heard. Come, if we are to find your friend, we must hurry. Although it is, in truth, it is not very far. These lights, I feel as if I remember them, as if I saw them once, a long time ago. Yes, everyone says that. Now hold my hand, we're almost there. Something feels like he saw the lights because of his memory of Alec Holland dying, I assume. And Phantom Stranger makes a little joke about everyone claiming to see light when they die. Again, really beautiful pages. This is heaven. It is an aspect of heaven. Heaven has many semblances, as there are creeds, as there are souls. You know it well. Is this your home? My home? No. I fear I have long since become a stranger in paradise. I didn't think there were any strangers in paradise. It's far too small for that. Alec Holland. Holland? Then I fear I am confused. I believe that you were Alec Holland. Yes, so did I. I'm glad you found out eventually. I ought to thank you for helping me get here. It was nothing. Only a burial. It freed me. I'd become obsessed with not leaving my body behind there in the swamp. As a result, I got stuck between Earth and the realm of the just dead. It happens sometimes with a violent death, and if you are indeed the shade of Alacullen, then your demise was violent in the extreme. Indeed, blown up by dynamite is about as sudden and violent as it gets. Yes, that's why I'm not so anxious to take up the option to reincarnate for a while, even though Linda wants to. Linda, she is here. Where else? I mean, she wants to go back on the merry-go-round, have some children. Your world will need children soon. Why did you come here? You're not dead. I'm looking for Abigail Cable. In your lifetime, you did not know her. She may have passed this way. I know the woman you mean. She hasn't been here, or I'd have seen her. Like I said, it's a small place. Alec. Coming, sweetheart. Listen, why not come and say hello to Linda? I've told her about you. No, I don't think so. We have to go now. Thank you for your help. Anytime. He didn't want to meet Linda because he still has Alec's memories embedded in his fiber. So, to some degree, he's sort of in love with Linda. And so it just is too conflicting and too weird because he's not really Alec Holland, of course. And he's really, more obviously caring for Abby in his current incarnation. She was not here. No, I fear we have but one place left to try. Yes, I had hoped that Arcane lied. Stranger, it grows cold. Indeed, and colder still with each step we take from his mysterious presence. From his ethereal continent of perpetual afternoon. But Deadman said that the god was a female. Boston Brand is a young spirit. He has seen but a few jigsaw fragments of a design that spreads outward forever. Now come, let us seek permission for a descent to Pandemonium. Really interesting. Permission. Of course. The ordered universe is but a microscopic bubble of an ocean of seething madness. The forces beyond this point are not to be lightly disturbed. Thus, there is one who is appointed to this dismal territory as a sentinel, though often his duties take him elsewhere. He is here now, but there is nothing but blackness. The blackness is a part of what he is. Now prepare yourself as he reveals the light. That band of whiteness growing wider. Stranger, what is happening? Happening? Can't you guess? He's opening his eyes. The Spectre. Really beautiful page. Who approaches the Spectre? Are you native to these borderlands of form and reason? No, a stranger. Ah, it's you, brotherless one, and another beside you. I shall condense my substance that I may see him more keenly. There. An earth elemental. How strange. I had thought them all long since destroyed. What is your name, creature, and why has the Grey Walker brought you to me?
I am the Swamp Thing. I seek a friend.
There are no friends in this place. It is too large. Do you refer to the woman, Abigail Cable?
You have seen her?
Of course. She is consigned to the unspeakable realms beneath, and that is where she must stay.
Stay? No!
Contain yourself. This is one who cannot be fought. Spectre, hear me. The woman was condemned by one who had no right. All that happens by decree of one will. There is one voice that speaks in all things. If the woman is condemned, then that is the fate set aside for her. But if she is unjustly condemned to hell, then hell has no reason. And if that is so, Spectre, then paradise itself is an empty confection. Perhaps. Yet if things are as you say, then would not her return from death render life itself meaningless? Such things are not allowed, stranger. No. Then what of Jim Corrigan? This is Alan Moore basically wrestling with the whole concept of, superheroes and mainstream characters always dying and then just coming back, and essentially, it makes it completely meaningless. It has no weight and no resonance when they can continuously return back to life, so although he's still going to do it, of course. Your cleverness is not dim, stranger, nor your impudence. Of all the presences, you were always my favorite. You may pass.
Stranger, who was Jim Corrigan?
He was, while he lived, said the Spectre. And as they descend towards hell, you see all these disgusting ectoplasms and skeletal remains and feral beasts and creatures.
This place is terrible.
Not so terrible as our destination. We are approaching the very edge of rational being here. What you see about is the thumbprint of chaos. A little way ahead, the senseless raging of the chaoplasm begins and continues out to infinity. We approach the last place that can truly be called a place.
In this place, it is hell.
Oh yes. The gates will open as you approach. I cannot accompany you beyond this point. Each soul must enter alone. Otherwise, how could it truly be hell? In other words, if you enter with someone else, you have some comfort, some partner to share your suffering. And of course, hell can't exist with that. Has to be alone. Has to be lonely and terrifying and solitary. Within this place are creatures that would tear the wings from angels at a moment's respite from boredom. Answer me only once. Do you wish to continue?
I do.
Well, the Phantom Stranger doesn't want to go in there. Swamp Thing's really looking for trouble. Of course, here's Etrigan. Ah, it warms my heart to meet with thee again, and meet with courage free from hesitation. Or can it be you are naive of pain, and simply lacking in imagination? No matter, I am confident your plan affords amusement rare. For Etrigan. Etrigan. Ah, yes, the demon that fancies himself half a man. I have heard of you. O kettle, thou art black. Is essentially saying the phantom stranger also fancies himself half a man. The pot exclaims, I know one more ambivalent far than I, a lonely soul who, mentioning no names, will not choose twixt the sulphur and the sky. Who will not serve above nor reign below, but walks a path tween a mallock and a manger. Who do I speak of? Is it one we know, or could I be referring to... Enough! He was going to say a phantom stranger. Your distortions, so cunningly expressed, fail to entertain me. I do not wish to hear any more of this. If you have come to mock, then begone to whatever pit spawned you. To mock what? Aye, 'tis help, sir, that I bring, just as the brute beside you aided me when I pursued the dreadful Monkey King. I would repay his kindness for a fee. A fee. And what is the price of a demon's hire? You may decide whatever suits you best. What is the bloom you wear upon your breast? Interesting. This is a flower plucked upon the western slope of heaven. How precious! Let this blossom be my fee to plant within yon dark satanic mill, and have its beauty there for all to see, compared with that which hell shall grow bleaker still. Seeing any sort of beauty only makes hell even more torturous. Now gather to me, creature of the fen, and we shall walk as one beyond those walls, midst shrieking maids and sobbing gentlemen. The gates swing open, the inferno calls. Etrigan, wait. You cannot accompany him. The rules. The rules! And if I break these rules, pray tell, shall I be punished? Sent perhaps to hell? Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. All of these characters really come alive when Alan Moore's writing them, and he's taken us from, Deadman to the Phantom Stranger to the Spectre and now to the Demon. All really great characters, but completely underutilized or, certainly not used as well in any other writer's hands.
Etrigan, the one I seek. Have you seen her?
How could I miss her in this fortress dire, where all once warm and sweet grows cold and sour? Against the grime and the rot and the blood-streaked mire, she stood as pale as radiant as a flower.
Oh, Etrigan plants flowers. We'd heard that you were now half a man, but it seems that you are rather half a woman. Mother Crunch, you tumorous excrescence, have a care. Etrigan's a rhyming demon now, and far above such banter with his kin. Aren't you, Etrigan?
Friends, Muddle Crunch and Flutch, your wit remains less caustic than the pox which gnaws your brains. To spare your throats, respond, without delay, we seek a woman. Has she passed this way?
A woman? Perhaps my servant may have noticed a woman. Servant, what pray tell are you doing? Polishing your hooves, Lord Muddlecrunch, you said. With a rag? You wipe filth from Muddlecrunch's hooves with a rag? What do you think we let your tongue grow back for? I think I'll tear it out again to refresh your memory. Oh no, please, not again. Sunderland. Oh, it's Sunderland. The old man. That's really funny. Lots of people who've wronged Swamp Thing and everyone in this periphery could be encountered in hell. Holland! The swamp creature, you! It was you who sent me here. You did this to me. Be still, my slug pudding. We can't have you offending Lord Etrigan's guest. Why, he might read some more of his poems. None, ha 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 ha. Oomph! And he rips out his tongue, which even horrifies Swamp Thing. Let us depart, their worthlessness is clear. We shall not find the flower of Hades here. Demon, how could God allow such a place? Think you God built this place, wishing man all and not lust uncontrolled or swords unsheathed? Not God, my friend, the truth's more hideous still. These halls were carved by men while they still breathed. God is no parent or policeman grim, dispensing treats or punishments to all. Each soul climbs or descends by its own whim. He mourns, but he cannot prevent their fall. We suffer as we choose, nothing's amiss, all torments are deserved. None more than this. Holland. Nice to see you. Oh boy, who is this going to be? I don't think it will be Arcane just yet. Oh, I'm wrong. It is. Hello, Arcane. I must look quite a mess. Insect eggs, you know, growing, hatching inside me. Very appropriate. Still, I had my revenge, didn't I? You have come for my niece. I take it. She's up ahead. When you see her, you won't want her. No, wait, please. Before you go. How many years have I been here? Since yesterday. Yesterday? He screams. Horrible scream. That's the worst. He feels like he's been there an eternity already, and it's just been one day. Not that it should matter, because he will be there an eternity, so. But that should be what hell is like. He said then, she was ahead, that I would not want her. Ahead, in truth I'll own, she seems to be. As for his last assertion, we shall see. As we're seeing various torments, this little boy has his head is, if it is a little boy, his head is attached to a spider alongside a lizard and a fox. And there are all these horrific creatures. Abby,
The hair would make a stylish fly-whisk rundle-thrat. Take the hair, and leave the eyes as pendants for such wax-encrusted ears as thine festal worm. Fasten your gob, fellow.
No! Get away from her!
She might be horrific. Nope, she's pretty normal.
Abby. Oh, Abby.
He pushed us to one side, Rundlethrat. I noticed. What should we do? Peel him and let him task in the salt mines, perhaps. Or...
You have done enough.
The buggers bled my neb. It is nuts, is some elemental.
Fool. Would you fight all of hell? Your prize is won. Take up your fallen blossom now and run.
So Etrigan, half a man you, and the earth genii, work together to deprive us of our spoils. I had heard you had grown soft with mortals. What bribe were you offered? I gained a flower. He takes one. In softness as my... He takes one in return as my softness judge it, as you burn. He spits fire. The half a man has turned upon his kin. Let us rip the conceited verses from his throats, along with his veins. Okay, so Etrigan now is going to end up fighting most of hell.
No! You rescued her, but that was my revenge. That was all I had left in this place. She must stay, damned like me. Damned like me! As flies around spoiled meat, they congregate hot for revenge, each slobbering like a hound. If she you clasp is to avoid their fate, we must be swift to gain to the higher ground. Climb, though I may remove you from this place, the magics used required both time and space. Amazing images here. See arcane, it's tiny, grotesque head screaming or screeching. What looks like a coelacanthus, and of course, Etrigan breathing fire with that kind of color. Reminds me a little bit of Philippe Drouillet, the French artist. Climb faster, scumflagons. Don't give him the pause to open a chymic window. But Lord Rundlethrat, he employs the exhalation infernal. Climb! Etrigan, they're almost upon us. Be still, it is space itself I seek to rend. One slip may tear the cloth from end to end. Thou quantum imps and cherubs, by whose dance is substance formed, to shape the fields we know your perfect waltz, that conjures form from chance, must pause to free us from these wastes below. By root of -9 encircled square, set right and true against dimensions 3, let our ill-angled passage be prepared between the folds of rare geometry. Ah! Arcane biting his ankle. Arcane just never goes away. Can't get rid of the guy. The portal is dilated. Free him, kick. You have no time to waste on one such as he. Arcane, let go. I hate you, die scum, you murder. Eat your brains, I hate tear. Your heart kill, dead, dead, dead. Finally, Etrigan just comes up and drop kicks his head. There it goes. Now take her from these stews and frozen lakes. She will remember not what did occur. But if it please you, tell her when she wakes, a flower grows yet in hell that's named for her. Ha 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 ha. Well, that was a pretty amazing appearance by Etrigan yet again. This was maybe even better than when he battled the Monkey King. And Alan Moore clearly delights in writing this poetry for him to speak, which does rhyme, but it's definitely not simplistic by any stretch. And he's rescued her soul, and he awakes. Alec! What? Oh, it's freezing. What the hell are we doing out here in the snow? Alec, what's the matter? Nothing. You're crying. Alan Moore, Steve Bissett, John Totleben. 6/8/84. It was released in 85 in the annual. And what a beautiful ending. Fantastic story, yet again. No disappointment there. I think in a typical comic you would see the hero go into hell and just have a punch out a bunch of demons, and fight his way through, and sort of the usual thing. And this was far above that, of course, and which obviously separates it from typical mainstream comics by a great distance. So this next issue is number 32. See another amazing cover. Love the colors and the sort of kinetic energy. Swamp Thing battling some alligators. Maybe this is going to have a more down-to-earth adventure finally, but we shall see. So this is number 32. Or not. From the log of the Viviquinquirium, find the lady. Certain enough our landing was more or less a disappointment. The Tadling's porta-puddle just about decanted again, and the junior umbrella birds got wet holding it, steady, of which they are forever complaining. Find the lady. Held up a considerable well to the entry burn, so it appears that Dr. Strigiform was wrong about that. But then he mostly is these whiles. Myself and front mate Bartle, found ourselves occupied wrestling the Hydrocide into this dangle web to stop him from rolling around puncturing his skin. Aplodontia used to handle him so easily. I wish she was still alive. He was raving fearsomely bad. Just before us, making our first bounce, I heard him shout, "There is no lady," and then trifles, light as air. I hope he's wrong this time. I hope it most vigorously. Pog, ship boss. AE 8491. This looks like a little bit of a tribute to Walt Kelly, who you may or may not know, but
early 20th century cartoonist who was very well known, mostly I think for newspaper strips. I'm absolutely whiffing on the title. It's just right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. But regardless, certainly these cartoons sort of look like a little bit of a tribute to Walt Kelly. I don't know if his vernacular is similar to this. Pog. And this is once again by Sean McManus, the art here. Signed up here, as I mentioned before. Sean McManus did do one of the previous issues, and he does it completely by himself in terms of penciling and inking. I guess filling in when Bissett and Tote Laban need a little bit of time to catch up on the schedule, particularly after doing an annual. But and Sean McManus, again, passed away. I believe he was about 60 years old, so still very young, but passed away last year or maybe a year before. So, unfortunately. And he does go with a slightly more cartoony, a very clear and really well-drawn style. He also illustrated some Sandman issues, or at least one Sandman issue I remember. But he goes with a little bit more cartoony style, and a little, but at the same time, a little more heavier black spotting than, Bissett and Tote Laban, who used a lot of sort of cross-hatching and a lot of stippling and stuff. Atmosphericals, about tolerable to middling and gravity sufficient to keep the stump water settling in the stump. By my calculations, you can decentral with the complete diplomatic impunity. Meaning they can step off board. I don't know what the size of this turtle is or what the size of these sentient creatures are. Well, I don't know if they're sentient, actually. They're not. They're alien. I think we found the lady. Not sure if the lady is Abby or what it could be. Could just be a tree. We found her. After all these interminations and meanderings, you're not abusing me, boss. Making amusements about the lady? Definitely not. Go help to strangle the hydrocide and tell the umbrella birds to break out the skips. And don't be unmembered. To tell the tadling and see the old strigiform, it's fetchable nowabouts. A new lady, and virginamental as the old one, huff. Sounds like an incurable disclusion to me. There is no lady, save her, long since abandoned to the loneliest animals of all. We search and rootle midst the nebulae, merely to occupy our tedious immortalhood. I am of a sudden become quite unaccountably lachrymose. Needless to say, this is not the easiest issue to read. Does give me a break from Swamp Thing's voice, though. It looks like her. It smells like her. Of course, it cannot actually be her. Not in this retrojournal misreverse, but pessimistic old sourquill. As co-creature and ship boss, I can mask you to shush your cynicisms. It's a vernacular on English, but it's all exaggerated to a degree. Let's hop a skip and see if there's a logical animalations hereby. With related deluctance, I follow. Psh, Luca yonderwards. Ah, hello, Cusling. Is this your lady we're triddling across? It's just a possum. They may be rodents if they said hello, cousin. Perhaps he just feels unpartial to proverbalizing right now. It's hard to configure the angles on the forania, especially when he's invertically inclined. Oh, they'll come around ways and split the differential, but they just like us, only more so antisociable and a mite smaller, which is per curious, constituting that their lady is so big. Who is this lady? If she's so big. Big enough for us to repopulate and raise our celluliters? Enough and enougher still. Just wish the others had surveilled long enough to watch their tube tykes sprocking up. Still, leastwise find the lady won't be obliged to sing the extinct song no more. Now we're hereabouts. That's a mercy and a deliberation. He was starting to unmember the words. And warp? Are you uncontuted? Fortunaturally, I am. I just skittled over this. Over this swamp thing. Another great image of Swamp Thing. McManus tends to draw his face a little bit more comically in a sense. And as you can see by the lettering, he's speaking a language that they do not understand. So they're clearly not speaking English. Which means that we're seeing all this from their, and hearing it from their POV and their perspective, of course. That uncontrollable glurting must be a real languish. Who cares? It's going to splaster all over us as swamping grounds. Goodbye and bye, old Pog. Everybody clutch for their accumulations and remain emotionless. Precare for a demonstrification, you shumbling scumbaggery. No, Strigiform, that spot gun's a ruskery gentique. See? Works smooth as a new bought Baby Beaker's base. Ruskery gentique must be like a rusty antique, I suppose. I didn't expect it to work. No idea exactly what it shot at him, but whatever it was effective. Fetch some animonicals, which must be handcuffs, and stare full as you go. There's possibly more of these mudsters lurching around here around. You undistraughted yet, boss? I'm well as I can be, Inspector Bartle. It's just when I saw that chapparition, I thought it was the loneliest animal of all. Yes. But I can see now that this animal at all, it's a sort of evagination. There, the florifying monstrosity is impinioned. Let us renew our explorations. Oh, you trottled on afterwards. I contend to just set here whiles. Well, if you're sure you're settled in complete luxuricurity, we'll go and inquest after some more cuzzlings. Hello? Seems it was unconfutable in my questimation. That is some variety of linguish you're declamoring. You're an telecommunicating life form. I don't much care to see a co-creature in strain saw an incessant sum of iniquities like that back in the old lady. I'm going to dispower the animonicals. please don't discorpsify me. In other words, please don't kill me. I'm gonna free you, but please don't kill me. And Swamp Thing actually kindly introduces himself, shakes his hand. Hello, likewise. I knew you wouldn't be anti-gravated. You're made of all the same ingredients as the lady. Yeah, the lady must be a very old tree, I would assume. You must be her gardener or some such. I can figure we must have startled you as we original. I wish I could explicate, but I don't speak your language. So, what are you droodling? Pictures and animaglyphs. You think we could communify and pictomime? Yeah, well, yes. That's how we first managed interspecies convergation back on the old lady, but I'm not entirely cured I can reconnect how to do it anymore. You see, we've been Wonderlost for so long. We've unmembered so much. Yeah, I see that right there. It's totally Walt Kelly, and so is this dialect, which I'm struggling so much with. Still, I'll try and turn my best paw to it. Our old lady had 2 illuminations and a rock-letting orbitiera. She was glorious. You can't telescrutinate her from hereabouts. All of the critterdom confraternated pleasably, and no kind launched a presumptive strife against other kind. We showed no disrespect and the lady of our lady, and she showed none to us. Or maybe the lady is the planet, I'm not sure. But there was some tribal breed of misanthropomorphs who refused to convocate with else folk. They constricted their own uncivilization and exclusified any kind else from joining it. They were the loneliest animals of all. They took our lady away from us. Through all the long since whiles we've been questing for a new lady, and tranquatic slakes deep enough to drowse our bereavements. So perhaps the lady is planet Mother Earth, and they came from a peaceful world, which, as usual, was destroyed by some kind of violence. A place where we could unmember and experimentations and meta-cruelties. Where we could disrecall the pandemonium of the assassinator. Well, probably not, because this is what happens on Earth. And the untellable things that followed. They bruisingly annihilated by the millings they disgraded our lady. Eventually we had to leave her behind us, and ventured desperately forth in unfathomed fathoms. Another ecological tale which is all throughout Swamp Thing. Regretfully, we couldn't accommodate every creature, so we slaughterized from each species, essentially Noah's Ark. Using ingenetics, plasma altercations, we were each perenderable, save for dearth by disfortune. And we made them so the celluliters of any gender could be birthed from their tissue. Just as soon as we found a new lady with room enough for us to replicate. That was immemorials ago, and most of us are dead long since times. But at last we have unbeached our desperation. At last we can rest. And so that's, Why did you unset yourself? Are you going to depasture for elsabouts or what? You want me to accompany you? You want to disveil something to me? Well, certainly, but we mustn't be unhasteful, or my kindlings will fear that you escaped and discorpsified me. Baton Rouge, Ritchie's farm. Is it a much distanter? I'm a tardling, can prize with you, and not so strifle. Is a lot slower moving than Swamp Thing, is what he's saying. And he's pointing to humanity. Oh no, not here as well. Okay, so humanity, or something resembling humanity, destroyed their peaceful world of animal life. You see, here they are again. Hamburgers and hot dogs. All the grimy aspects of humanity. They can't own this lady too. We're going to be happy here. Disparate cuzzlings, long last broodlings. Let me embrace you. He's liable to be eaten by these alligators. Or Swamp Thing will have to save him. Why didn't I reach a realization before whiles? How can I tell my kindlings that I let myself be seduced by a disillusion? How can I tell the histricide that he was right? That there is no lady? That there was all just trifles. Trifles light as air. Bartle. You guys are running. And he may already be dead. Hard to say. Maybe not. It's hard to say. Yep. From the log of the Vivi Quinquerim, find the lady. This lady was premonstrated her inhospitality, and frontmate Bartle is dead. We cannot abide in this place. I could scarcely bear to tell the others the histricide. I think I was a soul most distressed by this disposure. His quills brindled. He would not let us touch the corporal relic for some little time. Our Vivi Quinquerim performed the necessary excavations. And then we delinquished frontmate Bartle to the soil he had died believing that was his own. And finally, it was done. As potentially silly as these creatures are, at the same time, it's really quite sad. He was killed, and they've hung his little mask or his little headgear here on the stick, buried him, and there he goes. Save for the extinct song. Find the lady. Did his better most not to unmember the words, but I fear most of the sacred verses are lost to him. He sang dark as soul, wind blast so chilly, lucently enough, but the rest was mumbles. The Floralian creature stood to attentiveness, although I doubt it was comprehensible to him. Comprehensible. After a while, I thanked him for his sinceritable attitude. Then we went and bored, and then sheltered ourselves. Find the lady restracted his creniments, and discharged his instructors. And we continued on our way. Pog, ship boss, AE 8491. Well, that was a very unusual and interesting story, and certainly, again, really playing with the mainstream medium. I'm surprised, unless I missed it somewhere, that didn't say something about dedicated to Walt Kelly, but I feel like that was definitely a big aspect of the story, which played a role because of the sort of ecological nature of the whole Swamp Thing story that Alan Moore's been telling. But anyway, that was interesting, and on to the next is Swamp Thing number 33 from February 1985. Abandoned houses. Miss Cable, the apartment is yours, but I have to ask a couple of questions. It says here that you're married. Will Mr. Cable be living here? Living here? I'll be honest with you, Miss Cable. Your husband is in a deep coma, and there is every indication that he's likely to stay that way. Abby, we're all very satisfied with your work here at Elysium Lawns, but I wondered if things were okay with you personally. I want to help, Abby. But with you, it's all secrets and mysteries. And this is drawn by Ron Randall, so it's another sort of solo artist for this issue. Pretty scary places, aren't they? They still make me nervous, and I live here. What I say is, you can't stand the cold, keep out of the mortuary. I don't remember specifically what these characters' names were, but they're from, I think, the House of Mystery, which I think is where Swamp Thing first appeared. But I wasn't reading DC horror comics at that point, but these are very familiar characters. Maybe they'll introduce themselves. Who are you? Am I dreaming this? Well, not exactly. We're a projection of the human unconscious, existing as a construct of the brain's right hemisphere, and ignore my brother. He has no sense of mystery. Yes, you're dreaming this. But are you supposed to know that I'm dreaming this? People in dreams don't usually... Banana oil. They pretend not to know to avoid embarrassing you. Now hurry up and choose. Choose? Yes, your subconscious has directed you here to learn something important, you see. And are you looking for a mystery or a secret? Because there was a House of Mystery and the House of Secrets. I don't know. Is there a difference? Of course there's a difference. Mysteries are wonders, and you can ponder and share. Secrets are a burden to carry alone. Choose between a house of mystery and my brother's house of secrets. Well, if it's all the same to you, I think I'd prefer the guided tour from your brother. Nothing personal. You're lost, my dear. Is that all right? You won't be angry, will you? If you're sure that you don't mind me escorting her. Mind? Why should I mind? I am your keeper. Your brother seems pretty abrasive. Doesn't he get on your nerves? Well, he's not so bad. He just gets jealous when people like me better than him, I suppose. But you're right. Sometimes he can be murder. Through here. He lights some candles. All this typical ephemera that you would expect to see in an old House of Secrets or House of Mystery. I forgot which one they took, actually. It's very strange and cluttered. Yes, you're right. This is part of the unconscious, where all of the stories are born and kept. There are too many to keep tidy, although God knows I try. Over here, there's stories about an old woman who kept an ocean in the bottle. Down here is a tale of an orchard that bore skulls instead of fruit. All true, you know. This way. There's a lot of dust. Well, things have been quiet around here these last few years. People don't drop by so much. I think that's what annoys my brother, being neglected. Down here. It's been quiet because those books were canceled and people don't drive by too much, means nobody was really reading them. So, not the most popular books in terms of, horror for DC. Listen, are you sure I'm going to learn something important from all of this? Oh, yes. Most certainly. I've got a very special secret back here, someplace that's just for you. Now, where did here it is. A bracelet? Bracelet? Oh, no. It just looks like a bracelet. It's really a story, a special circular story that goes round and round. But what does it have to do with me? Now that's the secret. You're not an ordinary woman, you know. Some strange stories have intruded upon your life lately. Stories, everything that's happened to me has been real. Oh, please. It was just a figure of speech. Don't take offense. You see, in a way, everything is made of stories. Here, do sit down. You see what I'm getting at is these things that have happened to you, they've all happened before in a similar circumstance. It's like a circle. It goes round and round and round. I'm sorry, but this sounds loony. Oh no, please. You must listen to the story. It's one of my favorites. It starts like this. I cannot remember the morning anymore. I cannot remember the morning anymore, but I know the evening well. I belong to it now, and it cares for me, in return sheltering me, nurturing me, holding me close within its velvet embrace. The moon is rising now, clawing its way into the sky, a glowing amber eye that casts its disdainful gaze on the murky ooze below, the swamp that is my home. I move slowly through the moss-draped mire, treading a path that is worn smooth from my constant passing, on beyond the shadows and the dark trees, twisting tendrils to my inevitable destination, the edge of the swamp and the mist-wet old mansion that rises like an aging apparition into the cold expanse of sky, a stately sanctuary, full of bright lights and promises, and memories that bring only pain. So what we have here is the initial part was a framing device set up cheekily by Alan Moore and drawn by Ron Randall, and that launches into a reprint, because the story is indeed by Lynn Wein and Bernie Wrightson, and you see Bernie Wrightson's beautiful art, so it should be quite a treat. It's also going to inevitably be more wordy, even though Alan Moore can be a very wordy writer. Writing back in this period of comics, depending on the writer, could be very wordy indeed. I've stood watching that old gray edifice for more lonely nights than I want to recall, dreaming endlessly of the soft golden lady who lives within, knowing I can never have her, wondering what she's doing now. You smile because he expects you to, but in the shadow corridors of your heart, there is no real joy. There never can be. A toast, my darling, to us. Today is 6 months since we were wed. Your name is Linda Olson Ridge, and your mind is a raging river this night, carrying your thoughts along a surging stream of consciousness, sending memories crashing like waves upon some distant shore. You're thinking about Alex again, aren't you, darling? I can see it in your eyes. I'm sorry, Damien. It's just that he's still so real to me. Linda, Alex Olson is dead, and you're my wife now. Eventually, you will have to realize that fact. Alex is gone, darling. There is nothing you can do, nothing to do but forget him. Never. For to forget Alex Olson is to deny a part of yourself, a good part, filled with the happy summer days and star-dappled nights. Mist covers your ears and your eyes, and memory falls from the tears. What is a memory? It is ribbons, candles, a party. You have been Alex's wife for 12 short months. It seems like only yesterday. Happy anniversary, my two dearest friends. I really envy you, Alex. You got yourself quite a prize in Linda. And don't think I don't know it. So is he going to find some way of killing Alex? An anniversary gift, darling, for you, a symbol of my feeling for you. A golden bracelet. Linda, I'll never take it off as long as I live, I promise you that. What is a memory? It is the feeling of pride that you have in being married to the fast-rising young scientist with the world at his doorstep. We make a fine team, Damien. I don't know where I'd be without your help. If this project succeeds, Alex, that will be all the thanks I need. What is a memory? It is the searing sound of devastation as you watch your world go up in flames before you. Oh dear God, no! Alex's lab! What is a memory? It is the gaping wound that once had been your heart. When you learn you are alone, don't go in there. There's nothing left to see, Linda. Alex is dead. Oh, Damien, no, 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 no. What is a memory? It is a fleeting fantasy, far too painful to long remain, that carries you back through the portal of the past to the harsh reality of now. Linda, you haven't heard a word I've said. I'm sorry, darling. My mind was wandering. Forgive me. A hollow rain has begun to fall, as cold and empty as the aching deep within me. I can bear it no longer. The grim gray manor stands stark against the night, mocking me. I begin to move. The night has grown colder now. You can feel it, crouched in the darkness, waiting for you. Is something wrong, Linda? You don't seem well. Only the chill night air, darling. It will pass. You look into your husband's eyes and you see only shadows, dark veiled things that whisper to the surface and quickly fade away, and you wonder what is going through his mind. Dear sweet Linda, how truly lovely you really are. I never really forgave Alex for marrying you when you knew how much I loved you. You'll never know when he knew how much I loved you. You'll never know how hard it was for me to keep up the facade of the eternal friend. Happy anniversary to you, my two dearest friends. To see you every day so close and yet so impossibly distant. Never to know the touch of the fragrance of your hair. It was more than I could bear. It was I who arranged the explosion. Big surprise there. Alone that night in Alex's darkened laboratory, quietly altering the vital components to rid myself of the only obstacle in my way, my best friend. You'll never know that Alex wasn't killed in the explosion, that I carried his battered and bloody form out into the fetid interior of the swamp beyond and buried it there. It was every bit the bereaved friend at the funeral, always the comforting shoulder, the tendered word. It was only a matter of time until you turned to me for comfort. Our marriage was inevitable. Forgive me, darling, but the chill has grown worse. Perhaps I ought to retire to my room. Of course, Linda. How thoughtless of me. Go ahead. I'll join you shortly. You walk quietly down the corridor to the shelter of your room, and you can feel Damien's gaze following you, searing tremors into the small of your back. She can't bear my touch anymore. That's the first sign. All the little scraps of information she's been gathering are coming together at last. It's only a matter of time before she realizes I killed Alex, and that will mean my end. However much I care for Linda, my own neck comes first. Linda must die. The candles that light your room provide the only real warmth you felt this night. But even through that mellow glow, the chill returns once more. Damien is halfway across the house. Why can't I shake the feeling that someone is watching me? My heart beats softly once again, for the sparkle in her eyes fills my soul with a joy I cannot deserve. Linda, her name rings like fine crystal. Her hair shines like gold. Linda, are you feeling better, darling? A little bit better, I suppose, Damien, but don't worry yourself. It really is nothing. Nonsense. Come. I'll massage your neck. That should work out the chill. Massage your neck with an hypodermic needle. Interesting. I watch Damien Ridge walk softly across the rug, and something glitters in his hand. A hypodermic needle. And he bursts in. He stands silently behind her, the needle poised to strike, to end the life of the only thing in the world that makes my existence bearable, the only reason I live. Fury fills the spaces behind my eyes, and I walk into the room. Oh God, no! With a speed I have never known before, I move the fetid bulk that is my body across the span of feet, and the claw that is my hand closes upon Damien's wrist, crushing it. Get away from me! Slowly, certainly, I force the life from Damien's black-hearted body, a life he does not deserve. For several short minutes, Damien Ridge struggles for his unworthy life, tearing, clawing, ripping, decaying shreds from what once had been my flesh, until at last he lies still forever, and my bright golden lady stands screaming behind me. The loathsome monstrosity turns from the body of your husband and reaches for you. With arms dripping filth, fear wells up within her like a flood, and the sound of your own screaming rings in your ears. No, no, stay away! I stretch out my arms to her, to calm her, to comfort her. I open my mouth to tell her how much I care. But once what had been my vocal cords have been silent too long. I cannot make a sound. The tortured, shattered look in her once sparkling eyes is more than I can endure. I turn my face away from her and I start to go home. Only the swamp is kind to me now. It is only the swamp that cares. I look down at my wrist, at the barren place where once there was a golden bracelet, and I wonder where it is. If tears could come, they would. If tears could come, they would. The end. There, a sad little story, isn't it? But that's Alex's story. Alec Holland, not Alex Olson. And it didn't happen at the turn of the century. It happened decades later. Look, what is this? It's the secret you came for. It's a secret you came to learn. Alec Holland was not the first thing to walk the swamps. There were others before him. But that's impossible, even allowing for coincidence. No, not coincidence, design. In the history of the world, there have been sour times when the earth feels compelled to create an elemental champion for itself. But Alec's transformation was an accident. There are no accidents. Sour times are returning to your world, and your world has again shaped a protector to stand against them. That is what you came to learn. Now forgive me, but if the warning is to be of any use, we must hurry. Hurry? But why? I don't understand. My brother, if I can sneak you out before he thinks to check on our whereabouts, everything will be all right. Look, please, I really can't follow this. It doesn't make any sense. It's my fault. I'm so bad at explaining things. Just remember the story of Alex Olson. Tell your Swamp Thing the tale as I told it to you. Then when the trouble starts, it will help him understand his place in the scheme of things. It isn't much, but it's the best I can do. Through here. My brother's probably busy feeding his gargoyles right now. If you go across the grounds and out through the gate, you'll make it back to the wakefulness with the secret intact and ready to pass on. But then it wouldn't be a secret, would it? You know the rules, brother. And now you must pay the forfeit. Oh, yes, of course. It's Cain and Abel. How did I forget that? With Cain being the bad guy, of course. But she must be allowed to take the story with her when she leaves. Her world is in danger. If she wanted something she could share with the others, she should have chosen a mystery. For secrets must be kept forever. I warned her. I won't let you do this. It's just because you're jealous. You've always been jealous. Jealous of you? No, I'm simply disgusted. We have been charged, you and I, with the safekeeping of the stories. Who better? We were the first story. Now you would betray that trust. When the woman leaves here, she will forget your little yarn. It will remain safe in some backwater of her mind, ignored as a secret should be. No, I won't let you. Get off of me, you obese slug. I'm warning you, get off before I... Cain, no, not again. Crush. You murdered him, your own brother. Murder. Don't talk to me about murder. I invented murder. True enough. As for that fat oaf, don't worry about him. He'll be up and about tomorrow, bumbling around just as good as new. At least until the next time. And I just repeat this cycle of Cain getting jealous and murdering Abel. It's all we have to do now that nobody wants to hear the stories anymore. The same act over and over again. It's our punishment for doing it the first time. But why should you both be punished for something that you did? It isn't fair. Of course it's fair. I'm being punished for being the first predator, and he's being punished for being the first victim. Now I think it's time for you to leave. Remember to take your secret with you, too. Too bad that you won't be able to share it with anyone. Wait, don't leave me here. How can I see where I'm going in this fog? What am I supposed to do? How do I find my way home? Write it down, write it down, write it down right away. How did it start? I cannot remember the morning any... Hello? Oh, hi, Deanna. Am I supposed to work today? Isn't today Saturday? Oh, well, I don't mind coming if you're busy. No, that's no problem. See you in about an hour. Sure, bye. I cannot remember the... What did I write that for? Oh, hell. Oh, well, that's life. Full of little mysteries. Next, the rite of spring. So the main story was pretty pedestrian and predictable, unfortunately, and but the framing device that introed it and outroed it was actually really well done and entertaining, and was able to incorporate the central story originally done by Lynn Wein and Bernie Wrightson into something bigger in the context of Swamp Thing and what Alan Moore intends to do. That there have always been these Swamp Things that have risen up as defenders of the environment and of the ecology. And if you notice, I just noticed this, but the crumpled up paper, she's like, oh, well, that's life, full of little mysteries. Even that crumpled up paper, that's the face of Swamp Thing. You know, it just crumpled up. I guess it was just coincidental, but I mean, obviously, artistically, it was intended to look like that, but easy to overlook. But that's going to be the end of part 4. I thought that the annual number 2 was absolutely sensational, with especially all of the DC's sort of their horror cast, in a sense, of with the Spectre, the Phantom Stranger, Etrigan, the Demon, Deadman, all appearing, and of course Swamp Thing, Abby, and Arcane all finding certain resolutions, and then we had the very strange Pogo, Walt Kelly's Pogo. So that was a very strange story, but in terms of the dialect that Alan Moore kind of copped from Walt Kelly, but it really fit into the whole ecological tone of Swamp Thing, and was actually very poignant at the end. And so that was, again, a very unusual and very unique story. And then we had this story, which was partially a reprint, and then you had these framing devices, and Alan Moore still fitted into the main frame of the story he intends to tell. So all very interesting, but I really enjoyed the annual particularly. But the Pogo story was also actually, because it was so experimental, was really unique and interesting as well. So that's it for now, and I hope you'll tune in next time for part 5 if you've been reading along, or listening along, I should say. And feel free to like and comment and tell me what you think. Thanks again. Bye.